Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 7th of November. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you an overview of what we can all expect collectively, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the signs from Aries through to Pisces and the key influences for each of those. Now, this week sees on Tuesday a total lunar eclipse, an event which is going to provide an influence for the next 6 months. Now, the sign of Taurus where this occurs is actually where the moon is rather happy. It's exalted in the sign of Taurus, so it's its second favourite location after being domiciled in the sign of Cancer, but it's very close to the planet of disruption, Uranus. And if you recall, over the last couple of years, Uranus and the planet of restriction, Saturn, in the sign of the collective, Aquarius, have off and on been grating in an attritional and stressful right angle called a square. Now that threads its way through this event. Now, we also have close to the Moon and Uranus the North Node, a very significant point in terms of our collective destiny. But on the other side of the heavens, we have the Sun, Mercury and Venus all in Scorpio. The significance of the cluster in Taurus, the cluster in Scorpio and the position of Saturn is they're all in fixed signs. Fixed signs prefer continuity. They're happier with knowing how things are, maintaining a degree of stability. So Uranus is pushing us to be more outspoken about our rights in terms of our self-worth. So we're seeing a lot of protest and dissent, but also we're seeing the cost of living crisis, and a lot of that is because the second house of Taurus governs food and food distribution. Now obviously we also have the sign of Taurus being an earth sign, very much about the environment and the cost of utilities to heat our homes, to cook with, to light our homes as well. All these are hot topics. So the way people are relating to the right angle between Uranus and Saturn, and have been over the last couple of years, whether it's big government, big business, individuals, collective associations, such as citizens, finding an outlet through social media, or perhaps union output, is that everybody has a different take on how they want changes to occur. And it's obvious that some kind of reset is occurring, and we need to try to adapt to deal with this, and it's really not easy. Now, concurrent to this, the two rulers of the sign of Scorpio are in conflict, Mars and Pluto. So Pluto's in the part of the horoscope that's to do with wanting to maintain the old world order, so big government, big business. But Mars is in the part of the zodiac which is to do with how we think and articulate our ideas, but it's now in retrograde. But they're not on good terms. So this adds to the strident mix that's bubbling up. Also, Mars is in a right angle to Neptune, the planet of dreams and the ephemeral world. And this is creating a lot of illusions, a lot of dishonesty, quite honestly. And we're finding that more and more stories about corruption and dishonesty, particularly around money and people looking out for their friends when they have influence, or we're also seeing sexual impropriety. A lot of stories are coming to the open. So all of this is going to be quite a feature over the next 6 months. But please stay with me as I decipher all of this for each of your 12 zodiac signs. But if you would like to understand what year 2023 will hold for you as an individual based on Sirius astrology, and rise above your zodiac forecast, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can produce your forecast for next year. And in my special package, you get the rest of this year free, and also your life roadmap, your character analysis, which helps you to understand some of the patterns that have repeated themselves, perhaps more difficult energies, but also help you to have greater understanding of your opportunities. And there's 30% off. Please see the link below. Finally, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. I'd love it if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you're an ongoing viewer, thank you so much for all your support. Hello Capricorn, your week commencing the 7th of November forecast really puts into focus the potential in your situation to demonstrate your talents, to enjoy the more social interactions of life, your love life, in a way which can inject a bit of drama into the situation, not just this week, but over the next 6 months. The thing is that the collective in the sign of Scorpio is very much about your future plans and perhaps more long-standing alliances and friendships. But something's going to come along this week or in these upcoming months which pushes you to perhaps potentially change something. And why might that be when you're someone who really can appreciate a degree of stability in all your affairs? And of course, your ruler Saturn is in a sharp conflict with the energy in Taurus and the energy in Scorpio. So what's that about? Well, I feel that it comes down to Saturn about your values and also about how you earn money, how you spend money. If people have different values to you, whether it's someone you're attracted to romantically or it's friends, that's really going to become much more of an issue. Pluto, of course, has been pushing you to be very much your own person since 2008, but that's being conflicted by Mars's retrograde in your sector of being sacrificing and hardworking, not just for your own needs and organisation, but to make sure that what you need to do for others, you fulfil those obligations successfully. But Pluto isn't very happy about it, so that can create a sort of bit of a dislocation. The conversations you have can be confusing because of Neptune stirring things up and making things a bit opaque and cloudy. So when it comes to that longer term future, I think there's something in the immediate that you're craving that brings a sense of excitement. I think it's what it really is. But your sense of self-worth, your present financial situation can have quite an impact on some of the decisions you make. So time management can be one. Perhaps value judgments on who you think are good enough or correct enough for you at this time, friendships or potential romantic interest, that can be another thing. Or are you feeling that some talents that you've got are not being manifested enough? And if that's the case, this eclipse is kind of pushing you to have self-belief in yourself and go beyond any immediate constraints to keep working with your talents, flares and artistry in a way which does eventually reward that tremendous patience and application that you do possess.